name is Jason JROCK Houston. You guys are listening to an interview being done tonight for Chaotic Riffs magazine. You can find us on the web at www.chaoticriffs.com. And tonight we're speaking with the band Oblivious Signal, and you guys are based out of Florida. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And we got Christina, the lead singer, and the rest of the band. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're good. How are you doing?
Okay, I'm great. Now I got to tell you guys that until your publicist got in touch with me about setting up this interview, I'd never heard of the band. I understand you're a new up and coming band, and I went on the site right away to kind of research you guys to get prepared for the interview, and I was really impressed with what I heard. I can honestly say you guys have a real fresh, original sound going. You don't really sound like anybody else out there that I can think of. Usually you hear a band and you think, oh, they sound like Metallica, they sound like Aerosmith or Ozzy. But you guys have something fresh and original going. Is that something you set out to do when you formed the band?
Definitely something we set out to do. I think you just shot Nick Streams down. Those are the Metallica fan.
No, I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes, we did.
some of
Set out to be, like any other band. We wanted to definitely find something that would differentiate us from the rest of modern rock out there.
Yeah, and so let me ask, before forming the band, were you guys friends? Did you play in the same music scene? How did you all hook up and come to form Oblivious Signal?
Well, basically what happened was I'm a guitar player. My father worked with Jason at Home Depot. So basically what happened was he told him that, hey, my son plays guitar. Why don't you guys jam out one day? And then we just jammed out one day. From that first day we jammed, it just clicked. And we started writing ever since.
Oh, wow. And so what was the point when you guys got Christina? And the reason I was interested in getting Christina, did you guys always kind of have an idea in your mind that you wanted to have a band with a female singer, or is she just kind of the best singer you guys came across?
Well, basically at first we actually had a male vocalist. We were a lot heavier at the time too, so it was all screaming.
Yeah.
But then he left to pursue other options.
Yeah.
And then actually we put an ad out on MySpace, and Christina responded. So we were like, you know what the hell, let's give it a shot. And then as soon as she came in, she blew our minds, and we're like, whoa, we have something cool here. Let's work on this to see what we can get out of it. And we just went from there.
Yeah, I mean, because I think it's kind of the ultimate, wow factor in the sense that, like you said, you want something, being a new up-and-coming band especially, you want something that sets yourself apart from all the other bands out there. And to me, it doesn't really matter if it's a female or a male singer, but let's be honest, if you have a, especially if you have a pretty woman out front there, that's one of the first things people are going to look at. And then on top of that, if you have a band that's equally as talented and the music's there, because again, if you just have a sexy front woman or a good-looking guy fronting the band, and that's all there is that you have to offer, you're not going to go very far. But if you got the look, you got the talent, you got the songs. I think you always have to have the songs. So you guys seem to have the package. So what's been the response to you guys so far? Well, the response. I mean, have you guys played out much? Do you guys get people visiting your Facebook page? People seem to be reacting to the band, a lot yet.
Oh, what kind of response are we getting? We're getting a very positive response. I mean, we've been Oblivious Signal for almost going on 8 years now.
Oh, wow.
So, for us, it's been just an increasing positive response right now. I think it's a little bit different. Like Nick said, we were a lot heavier. They used to have a male vocalist, and when I joined the band, we were a lot heavier. Now the response that we're getting is from a wider demographic. I mean, we have younger kids that show up to the shows. We've got older people that show up to the shows, and they love it. We do stripped down acoustic versions, which attracts more of a different type of crowd as well. So, we're getting a very good response towards the music, and it's definitely exciting.
And so let me ask you, Christina, being that they previously had a male singer, what was that transition like for you? When you joined the band? Did you feel like you had to sing the songs exactly the way the original singer did, or did you kind of just put your own personality into the songs?
At first, I kind of felt that way until I walked in, and I think after a couple of jam sessions, Nick was like, dude, just try to do, what's cool for you. And I was like, really? Are you sure?
Yeah.
So then when we kind of started, just changing things around a little bit more, It was like everything just clicked into place. But it was a little intimidating at first coming in. You know, the previous vocalist has already written songs.
Yeah.
They've already written lyrics to a lot of the instrumentals, and you kind of don't want to step on anybody's toes.
And so let me ask you. You said the band's been around about 8. Yeah, the band's been around about 8 years. But how long have you been with the band, Christina? And are you the newest member?
No, Greg's actually the newest member. I've been with the band for the 8 years. I think Oblivious Signal's been around for what, 10, 11 years now?
Yeah. We spent about a year and a half before just writing and working on stuff with the previous singer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Greg's the baby in the band. He actually came in about 3 years ago.
Wow.
I'm still the second oldest.
And so let me ask you, being that you weren't the original singer, but you've kind of been with the band, for, the majority of the 8 years. So once you came in and, you kind of put your own spin on the tunes, even though you may not have been involved with the writing, after 8 years in the band, you kind of feel that you own a piece of those songs, you've kind of made them your own, so to speak?
Yeah, definitely. Those are the songs actually from our first album, Into the Night. We definitely did make them our own. I feel with this new album, Exordium, we definitely, they're brand new songs. It's definitely just all of us currently in the band collaborating together. So I'm excited a little bit more about those because there wasn't somebody else's, there's already, material on top of that, or melodies or anything like that. But yeah. Oh,
okay. And so now let me ask you, as far as the songwriting goes, because that's one thing I really look for, like when I check out bands. I think, if you got real strong songwriters, success is going to come your way, hopefully. But are you kind of a primary songwriter, being that you have a singer, Christina, or does everybody get involved in the songwriting?
Well, I think Nick and I kind of get involved in the songwriting first and foremost. Nick comes over. We have a home studio, so Nick comes over and he brings over some riffs. And then we kind of jam out some different melodies, some different lyrics, and we literally work together from there to, kind of compose something. We put some drafts up on the computer, and then we bring it to practice. And then at practice, we all jam together stuff. So in terms of the actual lyrics, I think it's a collaborative effort between me and Nick in terms of that. Instrumental-wise, it's a whole band thing, but it does start initially, in the studio.
And so, how many albums has the band released to date? I was curious.
We had an original EP back in 2008, and we had 2010 Into the Night, which was our first album, and this is now our sophomore album, Exordium. Okay, yeah, and I want to talk a little bit about that. I understand the new album comes out June 2nd. It's being released on Pavement Entertainment, which to me is a great, a great new label that's been around for the last couple of years. And the thing I really dig about it is the guy that one of the guys that's started, Tim King. He's a bass player from Soul, and I think it's great to have a label like this for up and coming musicians, where you have a guy who's an actual musician who runs a label, as opposed to a guy that's not even a musician. Just a guy wearing a suit where they might tell you, what, go back and write me a hit. I don't hear a hit. I think when you got a label and it's being run by a guy who's an actual musician himself, he's got a lot better understanding what you guys are going through. He's come up through the ranks. He's kind of he's been where you are. And so, what's your guys' story with how you got involved with Pavement? You want me to take that, Nick, or Dave? You guys want me? Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, this story goes back to we used to have a girl that used to manage us for a while, for a few years, and she was kind of, just scouting different labels, and I put together a spreadsheet. I sent it to her, and Pavement got back to us. We had a couple of other, interests, but Pavement kind of shined a little bit more because of that aspect. So, she sent back the information to Pavement on the band and everything that they requested, and I didn't think we were going to hear back from them again. And then I'm sitting with Jason, we're going through drum tracks, and I get a phone call from an unknown number, and I'm thinking, man, what is this, like, a marketing company or something? And I picked it up for some strange reason, and it was Tim King. And it was cool. We just, we talked about the music, we talked about the goals, we talked about where we wanted to go, and the vision just was there. So, we signed with Pavement, and we worked on the album for about 6-7 months with the continuous feedback from Tim while we were working on it. Again, because he is a musician, he's been there, he knows, what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, but it's been great.
And what was it like in that phone call? I mean, just like you said, you almost didn't pick it up. And just think about this for man, I think he's very smart in that, he's not trying to sign, like 100 other bands that sound like his band Soil, or, he's not they don't have to be all extreme metal acts. I mean, like, Oblivious Signal is a lot different from what he does with his band Soil, but I think it's great that they've got such a great roster of artists. So, what do you think about some of the other bands that are on the label?
I think there's a lot of talented bands on there. I mean, you've got the two different sides of the label. You've got the development side, and you've got the actual roster side. I mean, you've got everything from Silent Soul. Sean Danielson has his own acoustic project, Mantra, and then you've got great bands under development as well, like Romantic Rebel. Those guys have blown up.
Yeah.
You got Billy Spira, who's also really, really good. So, we're very happy and proud to be in a label with a lot of talented artists.
Yeah, it must feel good, and I understand you guys are getting ready to go on tour when the album's released, but before that, I was curious if you've been doing any, like, weekend dates or any dates to just kind of get people going?
This weekend we're going out of town.
Okay.
Fort Myers, where is it?
Oh.
Yeah, we got a show
on the west
in Cape Coral.
Uh-huh. And so, what's the music scene? Yeah.
Go on the tour.
And so, what's the music scene like there in Florida, where you guys are from? Is there a pretty good rock scene, or is it kind of a little bit of everything?
It's more of a predominantly hip hop Hispanic down in South Florida.
Uh-huh.
You get the really metal heads down here too. I mean, you put one big metal show down here, like Nick will tell you, like Cannibal Corpse or something, and everybody flocks to that one venue that you haven't seen since the last metal show that came 3 or 4 months before.
Wow.
So it's a weird spectrum, but then you head over to different parts of Florida, like you hit Orlando and maybe the Cape Coral, Florida area as well, and you get more of that modern hard rock feel. And so every kind of section of Florida has a little bit of something different to offer. And
so, does that ever make it difficult, getting gigs? I mean, it does. I mean, you would never get a show where they might book you opening for a rap act or something like that, would you?
We've done it.
Oh, and what was that like?
We have, actually,
yeah.
And they've been pretty good shows, believe it or not. Like, we've actually, when you can get hip-hop guys to headbang to your music, you got something going on.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I got to ask you guys, because one thing I noticed when your publicist sent me the information on the band is, right away the name of the band stood out, Oblivious Signal. I thought, wow, that's a really original, cool sounding name. How did you guys come up with that?
Jason figured it out. I was just thinking about names one day, and I thought of Oblivious. There was something else. I don't remember what it was. Trying to put about Oblivious Signal, and then I just text Nick that, just randomly Oblivious Signal. He's like, for a band name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, hell yeah.
I mean, it really stands out, Like, I haven't heard nothing like that again, so it's real original sounding. So, to give you guys, tip my hat to you for that, because it's a cool sounding name. But I also understand that you guys, the first single from the album is going to be called Crash, and you guys shot a video for it. You want to talk at all about the video, when it's going to be released and all that?
Sure. So we actually recently filmed this, like you said, video. The song's called Crash. We did the video in this badass looking junkyard, and I think it's going to be released in June. Our CD drops June 2nd, and that's when everything else is going to drop.
Wow.
So you can actually, right now there's a promotional video on our website on oblivioussignal.com, and you can catch a little bit of a sneak peek of the video in the background. We're very excited. The song means a lot to us, and it definitely drives a good cause of, definitely not drinking impaired or doing anything crazy. So we're excited that that's the first single.
Wow, cool. And so tell me a little bit about the video shoot. I mean, was it something that took all day to shoot? You have like a lot of extra footage left over? What was the process like as far as the filming?
For us, it was a little bit simpler. This is actually our second time shooting the video.
Oh, okay.
We had a storyline version of the video before we signed with Pavement.
Yeah.
And then when we signed with Pavement, there's certain things change when you're being developed by, somebody who got that feel for what we need, like Tim.
Yeah.
So we went in, we refilmed it at this junkyard, and the owner was awesome. I mean, he let the guys flip over cars and do what we needed to in order to make the scene what we needed to be. It took us about maybe 4.5 hours to do the whole thing. Setting up is what took the longest. troubleshooting and breakdown took the shortest.
Wow. Cool. I can't wait to see the actual, finished product when that comes out, in June. But now, as far as recording of the new album, I was curious, did you guys do it kind of a modern way? Like you said, you were in the studio as far as the writing, but where, everybody kind of goes in and records their parts separate, and then you kind of piece the whole thing together? Or did you actually record it where everybody was in the room together?
No, one at a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we kind of do everything, separately,
Uh-huh.
because we're very technical about certain aspects. We put strings, we put different things in the background. And it's easy when you have different layers of music to work with to produce, so you can, edit accordingly and give it that nice high quality sound.
Yeah, and it's kind of like putting together a puzzle. So I got to ask, when the whole thing was finally recorded, how happy were you with the finished product?
Oh, we thought it was amazing. It's awesome. I mean, it sounds phenomenal. We're really excited about this album. It's good when you can sit there and spend the time on it in your own studio, versus being rushed for time and stuff.
And
exactly. That's a big aspect.
And did you guys
your own music over and over and over again? You've got awesome products, and you're just blown away by it. Christina did a phenomenal job on everything.
And
So amazing.
Yeah, and did you guys have a producer that came in and worked with you, or did you produce the stuff yourself?
We did it all on our own.
And how did...
Like we said, we have a home studio, so I have a home studio at my house, so all the guys would come over, and we weren't being rushed or anything, so if we needed to redo a part, if we didn't feel comfortable about a part, we would just redo it. So, we had all the equipment, thankfully, to do everything that we needed to do and mix down and get the sound that we wanted. In the past, we just had the issue where nobody could really grasp the sound that we wanted. Yeah. And this time around, we have nobody else to blame but ourselves if we didn't like it. So it worked out great.
Yeah.
We love it.
And then at the same time, if the album's a hit, there's more money for the band to be made, being that you didn't bring in an outsider. So, if it's a hit, you guys are just as much to blame as if it's not. But I think it's cool when bands are able to take that kind of control and, just go with it.
Yeah, definitely.
And so let me...
It was definitely a very comfortable experience like that.
And so I'd like to now go around the table, kind of have you guys each introduce yourselves as you speak. I always believe, one cool thing, I thought today, for example, when we're going to do the interview, I was just going to talk to Christina, but it turned out even cooler for the fact that I get to talk to everybody that's in the band, because I always feel, in any given band you're talking to, everybody brings something to the table. Everybody kind of, brings an influence or something into the band. I'd like for you guys to go around and kind of introduce yourself and tell me, what do you feel, you bring into the band? Or more than just, I'm a drummer, but, do you think you bring a particular influence or something into the band?
Cool. Well, my name is Nick. I'm the guitar player. And, I try to do most of the songwriting. Like Christina said, me and her, we do most of the songwriting. I try to bring a very passionate, powerful mood to the songs that I write. Almost, I'll visualize kind of like a storyline in my head even before lyrics are even written, and I kind of picture myself feeling a certain way, and then just write the riff towards that, and I'll pop the song for me. It's pretty much
okay.
And then I come in after hearing the riffs with the drums and figure out what would fit best for his guitar playing, and try to make things sound the best we can.
Yeah.
And Jason also brings the mechanical aspect of things into the band if anything breaks down on the road.
Hey, that's important.
I try to keep everything well maintained and operational.
Yeah. And I think, again, the cool thing about doing an interview like this is you get everybody's input. A lot of times you have various bands where just one or two guys will do the interview, or because they're afraid of what the other guys are going to say. I can tell too, talking to you guys, that you're really got a great friendship, great camaraderie. So is that ever hard to keep up?
Oh, we fight every day.
Yeah.
Yep. We're like a family, but we
do, but we love each other like we're family, because we are family. Love big relationship for sure.
And
brothers and sisters, it's true. Yeah. One big happy family.
Yeah, there's times where I feel like I might see a drumstick fly right by my head sooner or later, but thank God nothing crazy yet.
Yeah, and I'd like to ask you, Nick, being that you're I'd like to ask you, Nick, being that you're the guy that kind of started the band and you're one of the main songwriters of the band. Like when you write a song, do you have an idea of what an Oblivious Signal? I mean, after 8 years, there's got to be a certain sound to the band, if you know what I mean. Are you ever afraid to go outside the box, so to speak, and bring in a different type of song to the band?
Well, actually, no. I mean, I think. This being our sophomore album, we've progressed a lot as musicians, and I think every day that we write more, we're going outside of our norm.
Yeah.
To really categorize us as a certain style of music, I think wouldn't be fair if we're just trying to get better in every day. I'm sure we're going to be a lot better at playing instruments and better as musicians in the next couple of years, or in the next year or two when we're writing the album. So who really knows what we can really confine ourselves to? We don't really want to do that to really make Oblivious Signal the best project that we can.
Yeah, and
You know that.
And now, Nick, being that you're a guitar player, I want to ask you again. As far as your guitar playing, who are some of your heroes that inspired you to pick up the guitar?
Heroes. Well, definitely. First time I saw Metallica, I was like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. I love the way how they took everybody's energy and like made it their own and spit it back out to the crowd. It was like I've never experienced anything like that before. But as far as like guitar heroes, I just adore and I really try to base my skills in playing off of. I'm a big fan of David Gilmour of Pink Floyd.
Oh wow!
I mean, he really just created his own sound and it's amazing. Stuff like that. I'm not into the fast like playing like all death metal style, really fast soloing, shredding all the time. I'm more into like making a nice riff lead sound good and soulful.
Or even a nice groove, because even listening to the single Crash that you guys had up on your page, I was checking it out, and like there's definitely a metal element to what you guys do, but you're not like over the top like Pantera style or anything like that. I'm sure you got elements of that in what you do, but I noticed all the stuff you had posted. All the songs got nice melodies. I'd say there's a groove, and oddly enough, I wouldn't say necessarily sound anything like Pink Floyd, but I could see a guy like you being influenced by David Gilmour, because like a lot of Pink Floyd stuff, stuff I listen to that you guys have up on the site, almost everything you got up there, it's got a nice melody to it.
Definitely, man. I agree.
Yeah. And so, like, do you like it, Nick, when somebody like me tells you that, when I listen to your music, like, it doesn't come across as like even though you tell me like you're a Metallica fan, I don't hear you guys as a Metallica clone or anything like that. Just it's great, original, fresh sounding music. Does that kind of blow your mind when people tell you stuff like that?
Actually, we love it. We want people to interpret the music in their own way.
Yeah.
We want someone to go, wow, I've never heard something like that before. This is cool. This is appealing to my ears.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what we strive for.
And as far as people's own interpretation, I was curious, as a songwriter, have you ever maybe written a song about a particular subject, and then a fan listens to the song and they get something else out of it, like maybe, oh man, I heard that song, it reminded me when my grandmother passed away, or when or about breaking up with my husband or something like that, and you're like, wow, I don't know how you got that, but okay, if you got that out of a song, great.
Christina?
As a songwriter, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I had somebody, I think it was Jason in our old band, our drummer, went and thought one of our songs was about tattoos. And I was like, what? But, okay. So we do get that a lot. When I write a lot of the lyrics, I try to keep everything open to interpretation, so it's relatable across the board. Some things are a little bit more direct, but, I do try to keep the subject matter definitely open for interpretation. So if it's about certain feelings or something, and maybe feelings of frustration or anything like that, it could be relatable from younger teens who are going through the teen angst, maybe something that they're feeling with society and authority nowadays, or it could be anything from something that, like you said, a husband feels towards your wife, or vice versa.
Yeah. And
so definitely, I try to keep that open to interpretation across the board.
And so, Christina, being the front person of the band, I got to ask, how important to you, the singer, the front person, when you're on stage, for example, to kind of, have your own, your own stage presence. In other words, you don't want people going to your show and saying that, you know, you're trying to be like Madonna or Courtney Love or something. You want people to go and say, you know, that was a real original act, and that singer had it down, and she had all the moves in that. How much thought goes into that before you hit the stage?
Man, I don't have anything choreographed. I'm not that crazy.
Yeah.
I headbang a lot. I try to get the crowd engaged. I try to get everybody going. And not once have I yet had a complaint. Somebody saying that was a boring show or something. Every time people are like, "Damn, she got me going in the crowd. I was singing along."
Get the energy going up there, man.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, once she gets the crowd going, I guess that's the time when the rest of the band, you know, gets to chime in, and you probably all are feeding off of each other.
That is correct. Yeah.
Big time. The feeling you get when you're playing on stage and you have people singing your songs with you.
Yeah.
It's indescribable. It's amazing.
And especially like you know, when you guys start, you know, hitting the road in a couple of weeks, and you know, the album will just be out a few days, and you know, people already going to be singing the tunes. That's gotta really, you know, be an amazing feeling.
Oh, definitely, we're excited.
Yeah, and we have certain songs that we kind of made of kind of almost like hungry and dance along kind of thing. So, you know, because people like to engage. You know, you go get a couple of drinks, and then you come in, and people like to sing along. So, that's one of the things that we make sure the songs are memorable. So we're very excited about being able to, you know, bring some of these newer songs that people can still sing along, just because we can kind of coach them through it midway, because we feed off of that energy.
Yeah, and how do you guys feel about like people coming to the shows and putting their cell phones up in there and filming your shows and posting videos of that online, you know, after they go home? Are you guys against that? Or are you for it? You know, what's your feelings on that?
I don't mind.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally for it. That's more promotion towards us. That's for someone being online one day, coming across this video that's never heard of Oblivious Signal, just to check us out, because we strive on our live set. Yeah. I think we really try to master our live set pretty well.
Yeah.
And make it, you know, as fun as possible for everybody.
I think I'm the only one that might disagree with that. My only thing always is that, you know, when people record it and stuff, the quality's never going to be the same as a live show.
Yeah.
And it's never going to sound exactly the same. So it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. Because I see lots of artists online, you know, online on YouTube live videos, and I'm like, man, they don't sound that great. That band sounds off. But at the show, they sounded phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I think it's a hit or miss with that.
Now let me ask you, Christina, with you being the front woman again, like, do you ever, as far as stuff like that, do you ever have people like, you know, unintentionally even like shining lasers, or because you know those stage lights are very bright and stuff to begin with, and you have that many people trying to record the show. Does any of that interfere with, you know, like shining in your eyes and stuff ever?
Yes, it does. Actually, some of the shows I actually request for the lights not to flash as fast because they do disorient me.
Yeah.
And I have migraines from it. So I'm probably one of those few people that doesn't like all those crazy flashing lasers in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because it does affect me. It does disorient me, and even flash, like very strong flash photography.
Yeah.
But you know, the audience doesn't know that, and it's not their fault. They don't know that, so it's not something you can, you know, get too frustrated about or anything like that.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep moving along.
Yeah, and again, you know, like I say, before a publicist contacted me about setting up this interview, you know, you guys are a band that's been together 8 years. I've never really heard of a band, but I'm happy that I've had the opportunity to talk to you, because, you know, I got exposed to the band. I really am impressed with what I've heard on the site. Makes me want to, now when the album comes out, you know, June 2nd, want to go out and buy it and check out the rest of the album, you know. So it's been a good experience for me now. As far as the power of the internet, what has that been like for you? I mean, you guys must hear from people like on the other side of the world, you know, Japan, Russia, wherever, where it must just boggle your mind. Like, we haven't even played that country, and people are checking out our music.
I love seeing those reports come back. And I know I send the reports to the guys. I go, hey, somebody check this out from the UK or from here, from there, because you know, every time somebody pops into your site, thanks to things like Google Analytics and all that, you get to see where they popped in from. And even on the Facebook, I like having to hit the Google with the little translator thing to see what somebody on Facebook said, and it's like, wow, that's awesome. They're listening to the music. So it's definitely an exciting feeling.
And how involved are you guys with that, as far as, you know, your internet sites? I mean, do you have somebody that's updated for you, or do you get involved as far as, like, do you email fans back, or how involved are you guys with, all that?
So we do all our own. We do all the social networking all our own. If someone sends us a message to our Facebook page or Twitter, we're responding right back to you. We're there to talk to you. We appreciate our fans. We love talking to them.
Well, how cool is that? And once again, I got to just say it's been great talking to you guys. The interview will probably be going up in about a week or two. I'll let you know when it goes up. Before I let you guys go, is there anything else you want to say to all the fans listening to this?
Yes, you can pre-order the Oblivious Signal album right now online at FYE, Target, BestBuy.com, just about anywhere you can pre-order and get that copy right now and deliver it back to your mailbox on the day of release.
And Christina, Nick, and the rest of the guys in the band, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to do this interview today. And I want to put this in your head. When the album drops, I have a chance to actually get a copy in here. And I'd like to do a follow-up interview, and we could talk more specifically about the new album and the songs on the album, so we could promote that a little more.
Awesome, definitely.
For sure.
Okay. Well, you guys take care, and I'll be in touch. So thanks so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.